Oh boy, what's up, gang? Carlton Flowers here with the Go Political channel. Okay, hold up, wait a minute. Before anybody even says anything, please understand that I was so discombobulated by this comment that we're about to talk about that I put the wrong background on my video that's from my main channel, my Crypto Pro channel. So you don't need to say anything about that. But when you get into this comment that we're about to discuss, you're going to understand why I was so discombobulated and didn't even put up the right video background. So anyway, let's get back to the video. And guys, oh man, I can't even describe this one. I just need you to go look at this comment, read it, especially if you are residents in Dolton or Thornton Township. Okay, so basically, I think this person, Cris Maccabee, thinks that we're basically running a smear campaign, cyber smearing, and we've told salacious lies discussing this check fraud thing. Well, it's salacious lies and defamation. What else? Okay. Well, I'll just let you read through it. I replied, but I think that everyone needs to chime in on this. I want to know how the Dolton residents feel about this, and if you feel that this is being aggressive, and if it is rolling over your rights. Does this post that Cris Maccabee made, does it consider your feelings about how you've been treated? And so just to, be fair, and I'm not going to say anything bad about Cris, and I do appreciate, Cris, that you've brought all this up because, it is all possible, but I also would like to get everyone's input on whether or not there is a real chance that while we're expressing opinions, and maybe I need to put a disclaimer. In fact, for this video, this is entertainment purposes only, and we are expressing an opinion on matters that have not been brought to a close where judgments and determinations have been made by a court of law. Okay, so that's a disclaimer for this one. I do believe that we have a right to discuss the happenings, the events in Dolton. We have a right to discuss what the board and the mayor are putting out there on the internet in plain view for everyone to see. Okay, when you make a video of a board meeting and you put it out there, it's on YouTube for everyone to see. Do you really think that we don't have a right to look at it, break it down, and comment and provide our opinions on what's going on? Because there are some absurd things in these videos from the board meetings. Absolutely absurd. So can you tell me that any dissent, now what does it sound like when any vocalizing of dissent is considered defamation, libel, slander, and cyber smearing? What does that sound like to you? Who can guess? What type of a system do you have if dissenting opinions, where people express their feelings of dissent, are threatened with defamation, libel, slander, and cyber smearing? I'll let you post it in the comments. I'm not even going to say it. But what type of a system do you think that is when this is what you get in response? So I will be looking forward to everyone who feels that they have a right to express themselves to read this thread and don't say anything ugly, because Cris Maccabee has a right to express his or her opinion, okay? Just as much as we have a right to express our opinion. So do not defame Cris. Don't call Cris names, all right? Don't be ugly, okay? Because this is not an ugly post, and it was well written. It was well written. And like I said, I do appreciate it. And Cris says he's not, or she's not giving me legal advice. But he says, I heard her last week talk about people on her case and she tired of it. There needs to be an apostrophe S on that. I figured she was talking about the Hannibal guy. Now, I'm going to guarantee you, in my opinion, Cris, that Tiffany Henyard is not going to have a leg to stand on in any case or argument that she brings up against Hannibal, because all he has done is state facts. And that's not the person who you're talking about. I think you're referring to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Hannibal does not make posts about Tiffany Henyard every day. It is O'Shea Duke Jackson. So now, what if I told you that you just told the salacious lie and you just cyber smeared the Hannibal is Hungry channel? Now, what would you think if I told you that? Now, in reality, I know you're confused and you didn't have any malicious intent and you mentioned the wrong person's name. But we live in a free country and we have to look beyond your mistake in calling out the wrong person, and we have to figure out what your true intent was. What is the true intent of me posting videos about Tiffany Henyard and Dolton? My true intent is to stand up for the people who are getting railroaded. To stand up for the people who have gotten railroaded. Now, there's no way that you can sit here and tell me that these residents have not been railroaded. Dr. Scott is a prime example. And that's not a cyber smear, and it's not a salacious lie. All right. So anyway, Cris, thank you. And I hope that you see the point that I've made. And let's go ahead and get a discussion going on. And by the way, the thread is on the busted video, Tiffany Henyard's fraudulent check meeting, what happened in that meeting. Now, we're just expressing our opinion about what truly happened. We never made an accusation. But what we're saying is something doesn't add up. And what we are seeing in this meeting that the mayor has made public, what we are seeing doesn't make a hill of beans of sense. All right, guys, let's start this discussion. You can either carry on the actual thread on the busted video under Cris Maccabee 3128, or you can carry it on here. I'll post a copy of Chris's comments and my response in the comments or in the video description. And then if you want to discuss it here, you can. But either way, either or, do what you'd like to do. All right, I got to get back to Dolton Chronicles episode 4 because I keep getting distracted. And another thing I'm getting distracted by is all you people getting triggered by my comments about the Democratic Party. I did not say that Republicans are not corrupt. Give me the timestamp and show me where I said that there are no corrupt Republicans. And here's another thing. This is to my black community because I noticed that there were some white people, some black people, but mostly black, who were really not happy with my statements about the Democratic Party. I got a video coming your way where I'm going to share with you thousands of other black people who have a right to an opinion, who think the way I do. In fact, in my old neighborhood on the south side of Chicago, I'm going to show you some things going on there, and I want you to go after them the way that you kind of come after me in the comments. We all have a right. And just because we flip our vote against your corrupt Democrats that are in control right now to a different party, it doesn't mean that we don't think there's any corruption going on. What it means is we think that maybe the other corrupt party will have our best interests in mind and not do what your corrupt party has done against our black community in the South Side for the last 4 years. All right? So just to even that out a little bit, I'm not standing on one party. I have views that are all over the map. this is the Go Political channel, and we're here to talk about politics. Now, there was one man that told me, don't delve into politics. Oh. That's why I made the channel, so whatever. Anyhow, that's another subject, and I will be doing a video on that, and I just want to ask you to give me, a black African-American, a black man, give me the right to vote for who I want to. I have a right to step off of your Democrat plantation and do what I want. I have voted for Democrat presidents. I have voted for a Green Party president. I have voted for an Independent Party president, and I have voted for Republican presidents. Okay? I've been all over the place. And it changes every 8 to 12 years. I kind of, go with what I think is best at the time. Because because you have a person that has that label, it doesn't mean that they're always going to push things along that traditional party line. All right? So don't be mad at me. I'm not on your Democrat-only plantation. I'm not brainwashed to sit up and listen to Joe Biden after he said in the 1960s that he was against the integration of the high schools because he wouldn't want his kids going in there into that jungle mess of integration with those black kids in the inner city. I have a right to not support that. Okay? So please allow me that as I allow you to stay a blue blood Democrat with the corrupt Democratic Party for the rest of your life. No matter what, you're only going to punch that ticket because you think that they're doing us good. I won't bring up what Louis Farrakhan said about your Democratic Party. Now, they don't get blacker than Louis Farrakhan, right? And I'm not a Nation of Islam Muslim. I don't always agree with everything that he says. But for those of you who want to throw out names or make assumptions about my beliefs because I'm black, I want you to go and listen to what Louis Farrakhan says about your party. And then you tell me if you will throw the same comments and insults at him. That was a bonus. Let's get back to the topic at hand. I want you guys to enter into the discussion and talk about Cris Maccabee 3128 in the comments. And, also tell me if maybe I just took it wrong, and I'll accept criticism. I can do that. It's okay. I might be wrong. I might have gotten triggered myself, guys. I'm emotional too. You guys get triggered on things I say. Well, I can get triggered too. I'm a human being. And one other thing. To my young man, I hope I didn't have the wrong response when you asked me if I really talk like this. All right? Here's the thing. I'm black. I eat grits, collard greens. I sing gospel music. I grew up in the black church. I talk like this because I grew up in Holt Summit more than I did Southside Chicago, and my dad was intelligent and taught me to speak the King's English. My parents and my grandparents all have dignity. Okay, some might say they were uppity black people, but they taught me to use proper diction and don't say things like axe. We don't speak like that in my family. We speak the King's English. That doesn't mean that I'm not as black as you, just because I speak intelligently. Understood? It doesn't take away from my blackness. I probably eat more grits than you, and I don't put sugar in my grits either. We shall overcome. We shall overcome ourselves. All right? This has gone on long enough. I'm just on a ramble. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you would. And thank you to all of the people who have just subscribed because despite those who said that, you're going to lose a lot of people saying such terrible things about the Democrats. Well, 100 people subscribed on this video alone. So I'm going to do me, all right? And you do you. That's all I got, man. This is Carlton, and I totally am out.